Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another week of Jujutsu Kaisen, Shibuya Incident Arc. I'm gonna try and keep this video short just because I've had some webcam issues earlier and I don't feel like having to record this all over again one more time. But just in general, this episode, there's not much to really talk about. I think the episode was very straightforward, if I may say so myself. It is a really fun episode. I was looking forward to it very much, and I am very, very happily surprised with the way they handled it. They added some little bits and pieces that I felt weren't like properly explained or displayed in the manga. I felt, and in the anime, did what anime does and what it should do at least, and that is extend a little bit upon it to make it a little bit more understandable for the viewer and for the people who have read the manga to understand certain powers and certain actions a little bit better. This episode does it amazingly. So far from the Shibuya Incident arc, and I'll say so far, it's one of my favorites. This together with the Gojo fight before he got sealed, two of my favorite episodes so far for this arc. But yeah, let's just get to this overview. Basically, it starts off with our boys, the three of them, Fushiguro, Juji, and our new young student, Ino, talking about the veil and how they can't get in. And I guess it's a little bit cool to me, at least for someone who doesn't really see Juji as a 100% as a protagonist yet, even in the manga, in the anime as well. Like, I'll be honest, I've had conversations with a lot of people of how the character just doesn't appeal to me all that much. I'm not saying he's a bad character. I'm not saying he's badly written. He's going through development, but I just never got that protagonist feel from him. That's the only thing. However, in this episode, it does establish that a little bit better. It does highlight a little bit how his physical strength, and we're not talking curse energy, his physical strength is a little bit out of the norm, out of the standard for a human being, and that does give him a general advantage because even without curse energy he could do damage, for example. So I think that was cool to establish early on when he's trying to break the veil that's not letting them in, and they notice that he can't break it. He's like punching it super hard and he can't get in. To which Ino emphasizes, like, that's crazy, the fact that he has so much raw power. So just like the little hype comment from Ino himself, who's supposed to be like a top tier school sorcerer at this point. Then they start devising the plan of like, all right, so what could be going on, and then Juji talks about how Mei brought up the whole veil being most likely sealed due to little I guess pins, seal nails that are used to create the veil or to strengthen the veil. And then we get to one of my favorite things in Jujutsu Kaisen, which is talking about the logic within things, about how does the power system and how the world in their world works, which is, generally speaking, you would create like these I guess, what are these totems? I guess that's one way to say. I forgot the word that they used in the show, but you would use these totems to strengthen your veil, and generally speaking, you would place them when you're within the veil. So that way you would protect yourself from people from outside coming in, and then they can't hurt you. However, what if the person that's trying to get in is actually strong enough to break in? There's a little loop around with that, and Jujutsu Kaisen has this thing where apparently if you, I think this is, yeah, it's in Jujutsu Kaisen, where if you if you tell your opponent if you make yourself more vulnerable, you have an increased chance of making your power stronger. It's like an equivalent exchange of sorts, where, all right, I'll tell you how my power works, and by doing so, you're basically strengthening yours. I think that's how the power mechanic works. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. So the way they seal this veil, and that's how they thought about it, is actually very, very cool, because they're not guaranteed that this was going to be the situation. This is a hypothesis that they did. Is what if instead of being inside and protected, they made themselves vulnerable by being outside of the veil and easy to reach. Therefore, through that equivalent of exchange of making themselves so vulnerable, they're actually making the veil even stronger then. Which is a cool mechanic thinking about it, really, like a glass cannon, as they call it. So then I wonder, like, where would these people be if they're going to be somewhere? Let's say that they are somewhere outside of Veil. Where would they be? And I think it's Judy that suggests most likely the highest place in the area. To which then they go out of their way to go reach them. These three people are standing there: an old lady, a young man, and an older man. And I'm gonna skip through the simple stuff of like how they went up and attacked them, and in a way they basically separated the separated the three of them in two groups. Juji and Fushiguro took the older man out of the top of the building. They basically threw him off the building to the point where he somehow survived. And then you have the old lady and the young man who are fighting Ino. Now, I love Ino. Ino is a great character. I really like his technique, and I like his technique in the manga where I wasn't even 100% sure how it worked. You had the explanation and you can understand what was the gist of it, but seeing it animated was such a treat for me, for someone who likes Ino as a character, because it just shows why Nanami was so eager to why Nanami entrusted this kid with Fushiguro and with Yuji, because his curse technique is a little overpowered if you think about it. He switches off between 4 different beasts that he possesses. I guess he has to put his mask on. Maybe that's a requirement, and then he could use different. I think it's different elemental techniques. One of them was like this honing horn missile that just follows you around. The other one was like this water technique, which, similar to the Gojo stuff, like kind of creates like a barrier that stops, I guess, incoming attacks. But there's probably like weaknesses to that and all that. But not only that, but he uses the water to freaking glide around the floor and build up velocity while he's fighting the old lady and the young man. Now, I'm going to try and split this overview as in, like, I'm not going to go back and forth in time-wise and timeline-wise as to how everything happens, because they switch on between the two groups back and forth, and I just want to talk about one fight and then talk about the other. So Ino goes in for the attack and realizes that the young man is basically doing all that he can to protect the old lady, and the old lady's praying, to which he's understanding, all right, there's something going on with her, and Ino is like just physical abilities and all that, together with his curse energy, like, he is a pro. I like his character, and I like how he was animated in this episode so much. To which you get a sequence where he's understanding, all right, this is happening. She's being protected. Something's going on. I have to do something about it. And then she's like, all right, cool, I'm done. And he's like, all right, for real, grandma? And he grabs a little pill and he's like, all right. So Ino is like, all right, something's happening. I need to stop this right now. He absorbs something, and she asks, like, how does it feel? And she's like, and how does the vessel feel, or something like that? And he's like, it feels amazing, grandma. And she says a word, the name Toji Fushiguro, Toji Senin. Sorry, those are the words that she says. And we see that the young man, after eating the pill, of the vial, is now possessed, or currently possesses, Toshi Fushigoro's, aka Toji Senin's powers or physical attributes, which, as we can remember from the flashback that we had before the Shibuya incident, that's very, very bad news for the good guys right now. Ino notices how bad this is and realizes how bad this is. And I'm going to prevent spoilers talks from the next episode, but there is a point where Ino wants to do something to the physical manifestation of Toji, and Toji just beats to him, grabs his mask, takes it off, grabs him by the shirt, and just beats the ever living crap out of him. You just see blood everywhere. That's where this fight ends in this episode, and it's just crazy because I love Takehito Koyasu, like the voice actor of Dio Brando, and also Toji Senin, and also from Kaguya Love Is War, the father too. Like I love Takehito Koyasu so much. He's a great voice actor. So I knew he was gonna come back because, again, manga spoilers and all that. But it's nice to hear him again in the show, in the well-deserved show. Like, I'm so happy that he wasn't just used or wasted on a one-off character or one-off spirit. That being said, again, that's where that fight ends. Switching back to the Fushiguro and Juji fight, it's very, very interesting how they try to plan out the situation. Like, they noticed they threw the guy off the building. The old man fell. He somehow made it out alive. Fushiguro picks up on it right away when he's on the floor. He's like, his fall is too clean. Like, he doesn't look hurt. Hey, yo, old deceptive asshole. Like, stand back up. And he realizes what's going on. So they go up. Long story short, they do their attacks, their big moves. Nothing's working, and to which Fushiguro, the smart sorcerer that he is, tricks this guy into hinting what his ability could be. Fushiguro starts realizing, all right, why are we not hurting him? And I think it's Yuji that says does he have like damage nullification? Because that would be broken as hell if he did. Imagine nullifying any damage that you take. That's just borderline Gojo level of sorcerer technique. To which Fushiguro then says, hey, we need to hurry up because something along the lines of like we need to go get you should wait till like Gojo comes in and beat your ass or something like that. He basically just taunts him with the idea of Gojo being there to beat him, and then the old man slips it and says, hey, I know you're bluffing because that kid right there said that Gojo is sealed. Otherwise, if he wasn't, we wouldn't be roaming around having fun right now. Now that we know that he's sealed, it's our time to have fun. And that's when Fushiguro realizes, all right, he can't beat Gojo. So he puts 2 and 2 together. He can't beat Gojo, so it's not damage nullification because otherwise Gojo would have some problems with him then afterwards. So that means he can't get hurt. So it's not damage nullification. And then they go through this hypothesis of trying to figure out what his powers going like his abilities is, and Fushiguro, just to run away, throws or summons his shadow rabbits just to surround him, and while doing so, one of them hits them, and he takes a small hit, and that's where his head starts working and being like, all right, so he can't get hurt. But the blow was small, so maybe he wasn't expecting it to hurt, so therefore he was caught off guard. So maybe he has to mentally put himself in a place where, like, all right, I'm gonna take this blow. I have to like use my curse technique to take the blow. What if he got hit with a soft blow and a hard blow at the same time, that he would have constantly, like, back and forth, to which he would have to constantly be thinking or adapting his curse technique to not take damage. And just the short end of that topic, that whole fight, is that they managed to get through it through the thought of working together. And Juji has a protagonist moment which I give him all the props for, and that is when he decides to, like, bash the guy with, like, almost, I guess you could say, like a curse technique punch. I guess it would have probably gone to a black flash punch. And the guy's like prepping himself, like, all right, I'm going to take this blow. And then he stops right before he does it. And to which he catches him off guard. And then he lowers the power of the punch just to switch it up on him, and manages to hurt him because of that. Because the guy got caught off guard. He was prepping his curse energy for a hard blow, and Juji just switched up to I guess a less powerful one. Which, for Juji, we established that he has very outstanding or exceptional physical power. So even like a slow or lower blow is still like a hard blow for the guy. It just knocks him out completely. That is basically the gist of this episode. That's what it was. I skipped through a whole lot of details. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just trying to get through this real quick. I know it's been 60 minutes already. I'm just fangasming over this episode because a lot, for how simple the episode was fighting wise, there's a lot I can go into when it comes to, like, the strategizing and the animation and the music. Let's not forget that in between these fights, we got a little flashback where we establish something that was brought up last episode, which is before Gojo was born in the series, there were sorcerers, and this is cool to establish. There were sorcerers out there that were not using their curse energy for the good of things. There were sorcerers that were assassins that enjoyed killing, that enjoyed doing all kinds of messed up stuff. However, when Gojo was born, the balance of the sorcerer world completely changed. People who could get away with doing messed up things all of a sudden have to keep themselves in check, because now that Gojo was on one side, the people who were with him could easily have used or manipulated him to get rid of the people who are doing the world wrong. Gojo was supposed to be on the good side, so all these people lost their freedom in a way. Not every sorcerer could do whatever they wanted anymore. They were being watched. They will be being placed in check. So that is cool world building. That's very, very cool world building. I admit that. And I liked seeing the granny also using the possession technique that she used on her grandson for herself as well. And these people are messed up. Like the people that these groups are fighting, they're messed up people. Like the old man, with what he was doing with the two guys, which I'm not gonna bring up because of YouTube and whatnot. The lady, how she went up about it, that was in the manga, felt a little creepy already, and I guess it gets softened out a little bit here in the anime, because it does feel like the daughter was just being, like, playful. In the manga, maybe it was my interpretation, but it felt a little bit more mature what the daughter was trying to do with the father, but it could have just been me. But all that aside, yeah, no, great episode, fun episode. We got Toji's back. That's incredible how that's gonna fit in, because let's not forget that just down on the floor, on the ground, down that building, is Fushiguro. And how is he going to react to seeing his father? That is the thing. Now, I know what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna say anything. But for those of you that are first time watchers or viewers to this channel, thank you for watching the video. What do you think of the episode? If you're going to talk spoilers, obviously, please put all caps spoilers and then your comment under that. Like, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next week, because I'm telling you guys, the Shibuya incident is just going to start rolling and keep rolling from now on. Trust me, like it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. A wonderful evening, day, and goodbye. Bye.